It was August 1st, 1974, and General Haig, who was President Nixon's chief of staff, called me and said he had some very important information, that he had to see me immediately. He came over that morning and generally told me that the so-called smoking gun tape was about to be released under court order, and that the situation in the White House was just dissolving, and that I should be prepared within a relatively short period of time to assume the presidency.
Determine the right thing for me to do with respect to my predecessor in this place, Richard Nixon, and his loyal wife and family. I, Gerald R. Ford, President of the United States, pursuant to the pardon power conferred upon me by Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, have granted, and by these presents do grant, a full, free, and absolute pardon unto Richard Nixon for all offenses against the United States which he, Richard Nixon, has committed or may have committed or taken part in during...
Everybody I've ever met, you can find something good about them. And I think that's a trait that we ought to embellish and appreciate rather than discarding.
I am honored by your nomination and I accept it.
We have certainly created in the Ford administration a non-imperial presidency.
The credibility of our free institutions of government would again be challenged at home and abroad. I have learned already in this office that the difficult decisions always come to this desk. Congress has been a partner in the development and in the support of American foreign policy.
Promote better relations between nations of this world.
We have achieved an historic opening with the People's Republic of China.
I put high on the list of important points the maintenance of alliances and partnerships with other people and other nations.
There is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe, and there never will be under a Ford administration. Each of those countries is independent, autonomous. It has its own territorial integrity, and the United States does not concede that those countries are under the domination of the Soviet Union. There is no way you can be strong militarily and have those kind of reductions in our military appropriation.
We don't have any military conflicts to take our mind off of making a better quality of life here in the United States for 215 million Americans.
A comprehensive program to make the United States independent of foreign sources of energy.
The successful negotiations at Vladivostok, in my opinion, are just a beginning.
Great victory for the American people.
The Constitution is the supreme law of our land, and it governs our actions as citizens. This 167-page draft of detailed legislation and strengthen the mutual trust and respect which must exist among Americans and their government if we are to deal successfully with the challenges confronting us both at home and abroad. We have become increasingly at the mercy of others for the fuel on which our entire economy runs.
America's leadership is essential. America's resources are vast. America's opportunities are unprecedented.
We view our relations with the rest of the world. The American people want action.
Stop the spread of nuclear weapons and to work for the mutual reduction in strategic arms and control of other weapons.
Concern is the immediate future of this great country.
We're on the brink in this country, in my opinion, because we did good things, made tough decisions in the last 2.5 years, and I want to be president when we can really blossom.
The United States has made peace a real prospect for us and for all nations.
I am proud to stand before this great convention as the first incumbent president since Dwight D. Eisenhower who can tell the American people America is at peace.
The spirit of America is good, and the heart of America is strong. I deeply believe in equal justice for all Americans. This tax cut does not include the more fundamental reforms needed in our tax system, but it points us in the right direction, allowing taxpayers rather than the government to spend their pay.
In my tax reduction program for middle-income taxpayers, I recommended that the Congress increase personal exemptions.
I strongly believe that we should increase that personal exemption.
A total cut of $12 billion. Those dollars would remain in this country. The emphasis on our economic efforts must now shift from inflation to jobs. These are not just American dollars. These are American jobs. I propose a one-year tax reduction of $16 billion.
This nation is secure. This nation is on the march to full economic recovery and a better quality of life for all Americans.
To put all our people to work.
Hold a lid on federal spending.
Whatever they cost last year, they will cost more next year.
A one-for-one proposition.
The extension of general revenue sharing and the Voting Rights Act. The Treasury can send the first check for half the rebate in May and the second by September. Urgent actions for the recovery of our economy.
We certainly are doing better with the economy.
To early approval of a national energy program to meet our country's long-range and emergency needs in the field of energy. To conserve the energy we now have, while at the same time speeding up the development and production of new domestic energy.
You've done a good job. Keep right on doing it.